And welcome everyone to Blaugrana Planet. Welcome back to a new video, and today we are gonna be talking about Ferran Torres, the transfer that everyone is talking about right now. Is it possible? What's going on right now? How is the transfer going? Is it close? Is it not close? Is it hot? Is it cold? We will see it today, and we will examine all the possibilities that Ferran Torres has to get to wear the Football Club Barcelona shirt. But before, guys, let me give a special thank you to OneFootball for sponsoring this video. OneFootball, the best football app that you're gonna be able to find, period. When I discovered OneFootball, I was far surprised. Guys, you can get basically everything that you need about the world of football all packed in one app. Very interesting stuff, opinions, facts, stats, lineups, basically a bunch of stuff that's very welcome. So guys, go and download it right now using the link in the description. It's important you use that link, because if you do use the link, you're going to be helping to support Blaugrana Planet. So what are you waiting for, guys? Go and download it right now. So as I said, guys, Ferran Torres is the man of the hour, the man of the day, the man of the week. His transfer could be imminent, guys, imminent. But there are many things we have to examine, because it's not gonna be easy. Certainly not gonna be easy. Manchester City knows, they very well know, they have the power of the transfer, although the player also has some power. But Mr. Joan Laporta needs the money and needs to make room in the salary limit of Football Club Barcelona, because right now, guys, right now, we can't sign up any other player. We can't sign up any other player. Therefore, well, we know that Mateu Alemany and Ferran Reverter, so the sports director and the CEO of Football Club Barcelona, traveled to Manchester. They did travel to Manchester. Apparently they were negotiating for Ferran Torres, maybe talked about Sterling as well, who knows. But everything indicates that the target is Ferran Torres. What did they get in this meeting? Apparently not much, guys, apparently not much. There was also rumors saying that possibly they were going to stay there, Ferran Reverter and Mateu Alemany, until they got Ferran Torres to come with them. Apparently, obviously, it's not gonna happen because we can't sign players. But what are the chances? In fact, there are chances, because Football Club Barcelona, in fact, Laporta said that they were gonna work on a winter transfer deal. Could Ferran Torres be the man? It seems like. And it would certainly fit Football Club Barcelona. But also I have my doubts. Because Ousmane Dembélé is a very similar player. And of course, we want to have Dembélé and Torres in the same team at the same time. But financially, is it possible? Is it possible to have two players that really play in the same position? Obviously, you can play Torres on the left side and Dembélé as well on the left side. But financially and morally, is it clever to have them in the same team at the same time in this exact situation, with taking into account the economical situation of the club? I have my doubts. And in fact, I think that at the end of the day, Ousmane Dembélé could be a critical piece of this market, because Ousmane Dembélé, guys, is very close to renewing or not renewing. Basically, his contract is expiring by the end of the year, and right now we don't have a clear answer of the player. What is he doing? Well, what we know right now is that he's not very convinced on the offer that Football Club Barcelona offered him, which is dramatically reduced in terms of salary. Dramatically reduced. Although there is a compensation with the variables. So the variables in terms of the games he plays, the trophies he gets and all of that, would probably equal the money that he's getting right now. So he would get a fixed amount plus the variables. If he gets all the variables, that would equal the money he's getting right now. But that's all Barcelona can offer. And apparently Dembélé is not willing to accept it. He's not willing to accept it. But one thing is for sure, that if Dembélé leaves, whether we get money for him or not, he's going to leave a big space in terms of the salary limit. There's going to be good margin to sign up Ferran Torres. So that could be an option. Maybe Ferran Torres could be the substitute of Ousmane Dembélé. Obviously, we all want them to be playing at the same time together. But there's a possibility, guys. Also, in terms of Mr. Coutinho, we all know the story. He doesn't really fit in the club. He's not very motivated. And at the end of the day, if he leaves, there's going to be good margin. And possibly we can get some good money for him. So who knows? Maybe there could be something brewing. Apparently Pep Guardiola doesn't want Coutinho. He does want Nico Gonzalez though. Not a chance. He has no chance. He has no chance of getting neither Gavi, Nico Gonzalez, Pedri. These are going to be staying in Barcelona at 1,000,000%. I know that Joan Laporta is going to do everything to keep them in the club. So to me, I'm valuing these chances. There's also another thing, and that is Mr. Kun Agüero. So I'm sorry for the guy. Obviously, his continuity is in the air, right? We don't know if he's going to continue or not going to continue due to his heart arrhythmia. And if he leaves, he's going to leave a space. He's going to leave a space there. So we might have the money to pay Man City, who by the way are asking for around 70 million euros for Ferran Torres. Barcelona are willing to offer around 50 million, including the variables, which we could be paying in 5 years. That would be a good deal. And if Kun Agüero leaves, we would still have the margin to bring in Ferran Torres. And again, Ferran Torres, guys, is 20 years old. 20 years old. Is a player that could be in Barcelona for 10 years, guys. Is a player that can last you a decade. Ferran Torres has a very good profile. And in fact, guys, I want to show you the goals of Ferran Torres this season. Let's watch them together because I think they're worthy to watch and see what kind of player we have. He's a total player. He's a player that can play in the left, in the right, in the middle. He's a player with goal and with assists. He's a player that's polyvalent, that has great shot and is fast. Not as fast as Dembélé, obviously, but I think it's certainly more complete than Dembélé. Obviously, Dembélé is very critical in one position and creating that disequilibrium. But as we can see, Ferran Torres can also play in the middle, and that is something on his favor, right? Ferran Torres hasn't played too much in Manchester City. Obviously, there's Sterling. There's also Grealish, by the way, that Man City recently bought and invested 100 million in the player. And possibly they're going to want to play Grealish because that's a lot of money in the table. They only spend around 20 million for Ferran Torres. If they get 40 million, 50 million, that would be a great investment. Although the player is 20 years old, as I said, guys, and the player has goal. That's what we're looking. That's what Barcelona is looking for. Goals. We need goals in this club. And as I said, it's not a clone of Dembélé. I think it's more complete. And Xavi can really craft this player. He can really get flexibility on the player, and he can really get him to be one of the best strikers in the world. Because I don't doubt that Xavi can do that. And as I said, 10 years of player. It's not injury prone. I know I've seen some things on Twitter, people saying, oh, he's injury prone. Not injury prone. And I think that he's a very good fit for Barcelona. He was playing in Valencia for years and years. Well, in fact, he was made there in Valencia in the youth team. And also, there's an interesting fact is that Mateu Alemany was the one who believed in him in Valencia, because Mateu Alemany was working for Valencia back in the day. And Mateu Alemany really believed in Ferran Torres back in the day when he was in Valencia, and Marcelino, who was the coach back then, he didn't believe in him too much and he didn't get the minutes, but Mateu Alemany renewed him, and he finally ended up leaving to Manchester City. Obviously they got the offer, and Pep Guardiola told him, look, listen, you're gonna be a critical piece. Apparently not, but not anymore, but yeah, so he ended up leaving, and now he's there. And now possibly if we sign the player, Valencia, by the way, could get a good chunk of this transfer deal, around 10%, which would account for 4 or 5 million euros, depending on the cost of the player. I don't believe that it's going to cost 70 million euros, that's for sure. I think somewhere around 40, 45, 50 million euros, including the variables. So guys, those were the goals. And as I said, as a player with goal, is a player that can last you a decade. And there's also an interesting detail about Ferran Torres, is that his agency, his representation agency, is the same as Pedri's. It's the same as Pedri's, and in fact, Mateu Alemany, again, has very good relationship with this agency. Things could be working smooth. Obviously, you need the sheikh of Manchester City to be agreeing on the offer. But Pep Guardiola, Chiki Begiristain, the CEO of Manchester City, who I can't remember his name right now, but Ferran Soriano, in fact, that's his name. They were good friends of Laporta. They still are good friends of Laporta, and in fact, they were managers or the technical executives of Football Club Barcelona back in 2010 when Laporta was first president of the club. So I think that there's a good relationship between the player and the club, and the executives of Man City and the club of Football Club Barcelona. Also interesting detail, Ferran Torres very well knows Pedri, Gavi, Mingueza, the youngsters of Football Club Barcelona. They played in the youth teams of Spain. They also played in the Spanish national team. And I'm optimistic. I'm very optimistic on the arrival of the player. I think that Ferran Torres really fits the criteria of the club, and I'm excited because I know that Xavi Hernandez can get this player to the next level. So guys, what do you think about Ferran Torres? I'm intrigued. Is he a good signing for the club? Are we doing the right thing? Do you believe that we can actually sign him? Do you prefer other players? Obviously there's Karim Adeyemi there in the air. I really like Karim Adeyemi as well. Don't make me choose between him and Karim Adeyemi. Don't make me do it, because I really don't know who to choose. But I know, and I think that if we sign Ferran Torres, Karim Adeyemi is going to be difficult, at least for now. Although I read a tweet by Gerard Romero saying that no, if we sign Ferran Torres, we can also sign Adeyemi. It's easy to dream. And it's very easy to tweet that and say that, but making it happen, I'm not that sure because you're negotiating with somebody completely different. And also the salary limit. You need to make space in the salary limit in order to bring Adeyemi as well, and you need to convince the player on coming to a club that is not offering as much as other clubs are offering. Ferran Torres, I think you can easily convince him, not easily convince him, but compared to Adeyemi, I think it's going to be easier. So guys, thank you everyone for joining. Let me know what you think about Ferran Torres, and if you think it's a good signing, if you think it's going to happen, let me know all in the comments down below. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, guys, smash that like button. It's so important you guys smash the like button so the Blaugrana Planet family keeps on growing. And of course, subscribe, guys, subscribe and hit that notifications bell if you want to be notified as soon as I release my next video. And now, and as I always say, Visca el Barça, Visca Catalunya, and see you in the next live stream.